Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a Boeuf Bourguignon. Boeuf Bourguignon is a classic French dish, rich and hearty, that hails from the Burgundy region of France. It's a stew cooked in red wine, carrots, onions, mushrooms and herbs. Boeuf Bourguignon embodies the comforting essence of French cuisine, celebrating deep, complex flavors presented in an inviting and hearty manner. This plant-based version replaces the beef by seitan. I will show you how to make seitan, and also include lardons that give a particular flavor to the final product. This recipe is based on the work of Auguste Escoffier, one of the founders of French haute cuisine. Auguste Escoffier was described as the king of chefs and the chef of kings. I strongly believe that French cuisine needs to be reinvented without the usage of animal products. Here is my version. To realize the seitan, you need vital wheat gluten. Gluten is the protein contained in wheat. This protein has stretchability properties that are going to create fibers that mimic meat texture. You also need water. You need a tofu. So this is the hard type of tofu, and I pressed it to remove the water. You need miso paste. A dark miso will also work, it doesn't matter. This is garlic powder. This is mushroom bouillon granules. This is made out of mushrooms. This product can be found in Asian supermarkets. If you can't find it, you can also grind porcini mushrooms into a fine powder. This is white pepper powder. Here we have onion powder. We need a bit of fat to make this seitan, so here I have olive oil. You can also use a neutral oil, that will also work. Here we have Worcestershire sauce. This is molasse. Molasse is a residual product from the extraction of sugarcane. It has an earthy flavor and it will bring a bit of sweetness to the seitan, but you see the quantity is so small that it's not going to turn sweet. And that's all we need for the seitan. The best way to make seitan is to use a blender, because that's going to ease all the mixing. First we're going to blend the tofu with the water until a smooth paste. And then we're going to put all the other ingredients except the gluten powder. So this is the mushroom extract, the onion, the garlic powder, the white pepper, the miso, the Worcestershire sauce, the molasse. So the molasse is quite syrupy and thick. The oil. So here I use olive oil because I don't have neutral oil. And we're going to blend all this. And now we're going to put the gluten powder. And we're going to blend until we obtain a smooth dough. So at the beginning nothing happens, but it will come together. So the dough is starting to form. That's because the blade of the blender are stretching the protein of the gluten. You have to be patient, it takes around 4 to 5 minutes. The dough is becoming stiff. Let's have a look. So you can see that the gluten has been formed when you stretch the dough. So there's something else that I like to do, is to take some of the dough and then rub it on every part of the bowl that the dough couldn't reach, to clean and to get rid of all the liquids. And then let's blend. It's very stretchy, that's what we want. So we're going to let it rest for 15 minutes. In the meantime, you're going to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So the dough has rested 15 minutes. It's more manageable now, it's less sticky. And what we're going to do, we're going to shape it into a rectangular loaf. So if your hand stick, you can put water. We're going to flatten it into a rectangle shape around 2 centimeters thick, something like this. And we're going to wrap it into aluminum foil. So we need 2 pieces of around 45 centimeters each. The aluminum foil has to be approximately twice the length of your rectangle. So we're going to place it in the center. And then we're going to rub the edge over, like this. And then we're going to roll the edge and leave like 2 centimeters from the end of the seitan to this. You leave a bit of distance. That's going to allow it to expand during the cooking. And you do the same on the other side. We're going to wrap it a second time, and the second time we're going to put the opening down. The opening is here, right, of your envelope, so we're going to put it face down, like that. Then you press the edge again to bring the seitan inside, to have a clean edge here, and then you wrap the paper over. So that's going to create an hermetic environment, and the steam is going to be trapped inside when we're going to bake it. And then you do the same thing here. You fold the edge and you leave around like 2 centimeters. And you do the same on the other side. Now we're going to put into the oven. So I suggest you to put it into a rack like this, and also the opening face down. So let's open it. The texture is spongy, so it's perfect because when we're going to cook it in the broth, it's going to absorb all the flavors. To realize this plant-based Boeuf Bourguignon, we need a piece of seitan. We need some plant-based bacon, so you can find my recipe there. And I cut them in the rectangle shape, 1 centimeter by 2 centimeters. If you buy them, whatever shape will be fine. We need button mushroom, champignon de Paris. To prep the mushroom, I wash them first to remove some dirt if they are dirt. Then I cut the tails, and then I slice them in 5mm slices. We also need carrots, and we need onions. So normally Boeuf Bourguignon use small white onions, but I couldn't find small white onions. So what I did is I cut my onion in half, then in half again, and then I cut it in 3 parts to end up having shapes that are something similar to this. What we want is to have everything, all the vegetables, more or less the same shape. That's for presentation is better, and also for cooking. Here we have some parsley. This is for decorating at the end. So to make the broth, we need red wine. Pinot Noir is a good option. Look for vegan wine. Not all the wines are vegan. Some use egg whites for clarification. Some companies write on the label when the wine is vegan. You can also search online. We need some water. To boost the flavors and to make a very rich and flavorful broth, we're going to use a set of different ingredients. So here we have soy sauce. This is Worcestershire sauce. This is tomato paste, and this is mustard. We're going to add a piece of chocolate. Chocolate has this earthy flavor that is going to elevate the dish to another height. Here we have a mix of porcini mushroom powder. The way I did it is I mixed dried porcinis into the blender until I obtain a powder, and this also is going to give extraordinary flavor to your broth. In the center we have nutritional yeast. That's also going to deepen the umami flavors. We have a bit of brown sugar, is just to balance the flavors. Here we have dry thyme, we have bay leaf. Here we have some olive oil and some flour. We're going to make a roux to thicken the sauce. And we need some black pepper, so this is to taste, and olive oil to fry some of the ingredients. For the utensil you need, it's better to use a cast iron pot. If you don't have a cast iron pot, you can use regular stainless steel cooking pot. I will avoid glass because glass doesn't conduct heat very well. And you need a wooden spoon. That's about it. The first thing that we're going to do is slightly brown the mushrooms. So you add some olive oil in the pot and then put the mushrooms and stir. So now they are golden brown. We stop the heat and then we transfer them back into the bowl. So this is just to give them some color and also to develop the mushroom flavors. Then we're going to make the roux. So we're going to pour the olive oil and the flour. Then you give it a good mix. And the aim here is to create a kind of a slurry, and you end up having something like a paste. It's starting to have a nutty flavor. Now we're going to add the water. Then we're going to add the wine. So we're going to add half of the bottle. And then we're going to add all the other ingredients for the broth. The soy sauce, the Worcestershire sauce, the chocolate, the thyme and the bay leaf, the sugar, nutritional yeast, and porcini powder, and the tomato sauce and the mustard. Then you're going to add the onions, the carrots, and give a good stir. And then finally we're going to add the seitan. And you're going to cut the seitan in large cubes. And you can grind some pepper. The stew has cooked for 1 hour. Now is the moment to add the mushrooms. I like to fry the lardons in the air fryer. I fry them for 15 minutes and they just become crispy perfectly. And the lardons. Give a good mix. At this stage you can eat it, but what I like to do is to let it cool down, put it on the fridge, and eat it the day after. All the flavors are going to improve after one night in the fridge. C'est trop bon. The seitan is so juicy, it's so soft, it melts in the mouth. It has absorbed all the flavors that we put into the broth. It's just delicious.